Have you ever noticed what happens whenever people talk about Argentina's 2022 World Cup victory? Some fans say Lionel Messi carried the entire team on his back. Others argue Argentina would have won anyway, because they had one of the strongest squads in the tournament. But both sides might be missing something important, because when you actually examine every knockout match, every key player, every tactical decision, and every crucial moment, the truth becomes far more interesting. Did Messi carry Argentina? Did Argentina carry Messi? Or is football history slowly turning a team achievement into a one-man story? By the end of this video, you'll discover why one of the most popular narratives about the 2022 World Cup isn't completely right or completely wrong. Let's investigate. Before we can answer whether Messi carried Argentina, we need to answer a different question. What does carrying a team actually mean? Football fans use the word all the time, but it rarely has a clear definition. Does carrying mean scoring the most goals? Does it mean being the best player? Does it mean performing when the pressure is highest? Or does it mean winning despite having weak teammates? Because these are very different things. For example, if a player scores 10 goals, but plays alongside world-class teammates, did he carry the team? Maybe, maybe not. Meanwhile, a player could score fewer goals, but constantly save a struggling team from disaster. That might be carrying. The reason this matters is because many people see Messi lifting the trophy and immediately conclude he carried Argentina. But football isn't basketball. One player can dominate a match. One player cannot control every area of the pitch. So let's start with the strongest argument in favor of the myth: Messi's numbers. Because they are genuinely incredible. During the 2022 World Cup, Messi scored 7 goals and provided 3 assists. He directly contributed to 10 goals. Only Kylian Mbappe scored more goals during the tournament. Messi scored in every knockout round: Australia, Netherlands, Croatia, France. That's an extraordinary achievement. In fact, very few players in football history have influenced a World Cup campaign so consistently. Whenever Argentina needed a moment of quality, Messi usually provided it. The assist against the Netherlands, the run against Croatia, the penalties under immense pressure, the leadership, the composure, the creativity. Take Messi out of Argentina's attack, and their tournament immediately looks very different. So does this prove he carried them? Not quite, because now we need to ask an uncomfortable question. What happens if we remove Messi from Argentina? Most fans ask that question, but almost nobody asks the reverse. What happens if we remove the rest of Argentina from Messi? And that's where things get fascinating. Let's talk about Emiliano Martínez. Because if Messi was Argentina's hero, Martínez was often their insurance policy. The goalkeeper produced one of the greatest World Cup goalkeeping performances in modern history. His penalty shootout heroics against the Netherlands, his penalty saves against France, and perhaps most importantly, his last-second save against Randall Kolo Muani in the final. Think about that moment. If Martínez doesn't make that save, France wins the World Cup. The match ends. Messi's dream ends. And football history changes forever. That's how thin the margins were. Suddenly, the idea of one player carrying the entire tournament becomes much harder to defend. Verdict on the Martínez myth? True. Argentina's success depended enormously on him. But he wasn't the only teammate making headlines. Enter Julián Álvarez, the young striker who became one of the tournament's biggest surprises. When people remember Argentina's World Cup, they remember Messi's brilliance. What they sometimes forget is how important Álvarez was tactically. His movement stretched defenses. His pressing helped Argentina recover possession. His energy allowed Messi to conserve energy for decisive moments. And then there were the goals, especially the semi-final against Croatia. Álvarez scored twice. Messi was brilliant, but Argentina don't reach the final without one of the tournament's breakout stars. This reveals something important. Great players often need teammates who amplify their strengths. Verdict? The idea that Messi did everything himself is misleading. Now let's talk about a player who completely transformed Argentina's midfield: Enzo Fernández. Because before the World Cup, many casual fans barely knew who he was. By the end, he had won the tournament's Best Young Player award. After Argentina's shocking defeat to Saudi Arabia, Scaloni adjusted the team. Enzo became increasingly important. His passing, his energy, his ball progression, his defensive work. Suddenly, Argentina looked more balanced, more aggressive, more dynamic. A lot of attention naturally went to Messi, but tournaments are often won in midfield. And Enzo played a huge role in helping Argentina control matches. Again, another reminder. A player can be the star without carrying everything. Now here's where the story becomes even more interesting. Because Argentina's biggest strength wasn't actually Messi, it was structure. Watch Argentina throughout the tournament. You'll notice something. They rarely looked chaotic. Lionel Scaloni built one of the most organized teams in the competition. The defensive shape was disciplined. The pressing triggers were clear. The midfield worked collectively. The fullbacks understood their responsibilities. And crucially, the system was designed to maximize Messi. That's not criticism. That's smart coaching. Many of the greatest teams in football history were built around their best player. Barcelona did it with Messi. Real Madrid did it with Cristiano Ronaldo. Argentina did it in 2022. The difference is that building around a player is not the same as relying solely on a player. This brings us to perhaps the most famous comparison of all: Diego Maradona in 1986. Whenever football fans discuss carrying a team, this World Cup is usually the first example. Maradona produced one of the greatest individual tournaments ever. And because Argentina also won the World Cup, comparisons with Messi became inevitable. But were the situations actually similar? Not exactly. Maradona's Argentina had strong players around him too. The idea that he literally dragged 11 average footballers to a trophy is often exaggerated. However, most analysts agree Maradona's influence was even more concentrated than Messi's in 2022. Argentina's attack flowed almost entirely through him. Messi's role was different. He was the focal point, the leader, the superstar. But he was surrounded by a more balanced and complete squad, which means calling Messi's World Cup a carbon copy of Maradona's 1986 campaign oversimplifies both tournaments. Now let's look at what advanced statistics reveal, because this is where the debate becomes really interesting. Advanced metrics consistently show Messi among the tournament's most influential players. Expected assists, chance creation, progressive carries, shot involvement, dribbling impact. He ranks near the top in almost every attacking category. And that's important, because it confirms what fans saw with their eyes. Messi wasn't just scoring penalties. He was driving Argentina's attack, creating chances, breaking defensive lines, controlling games. However, the same statistics also reveal something else. Argentina performed strongly as a collective unit. Their defensive numbers were solid. Their midfield numbers were strong. Their pressing structure functioned effectively. The data supports Messi being the team's most important player, but it does not support the idea that he won the tournament alone. And that leads us to the final verdict. Did Lionel Messi carry Argentina to the 2022 World Cup? The answer depends on what you mean by carry. If carrying means being the team's best player, true. If carrying means being the biggest reason they won, probably true. If carrying means Argentina would have collapsed without him, also likely true. But if carrying means he single-handedly dragged an average team to a World Cup while everyone else watched, false. Completely false. What actually happened is far more impressive. Messi led a brilliant team. He inspired a talented squad. He delivered in the biggest moments. He provided the magic. But he also had a world-class goalkeeper, an emerging superstar striker, a brilliant young midfielder, a disciplined defense, and a coach who built the perfect system around him. The biggest surprise isn't that Messi was Argentina's most important player. It's that acknowledging his teammates somehow became controversial. Football has always been a team sport, and the 2022 World Cup might be the perfect example of that truth. One superstar, one outstanding team, one unforgettable triumph. Now I want to hear your opinion. Was Messi carrying Argentina, leading Argentina, or something in between? Drop your verdict in the comments. And if there's another football myth you want investigated, let me know below. If you enjoyed this football deep dive, like the video, subscribe for more football myths and investigations, and join us for the next case. Because sometimes the story everybody believes isn't the whole story.